All right, I'm going to cover a little Netradiant tip that I picked up that others might enjoy. I've been learning this might not be the most efficient way, but figured I'd share because it's a pretty cool tip. Instead of manually creating bevels that follow like a half of a bevel, if you want to do like a 45-degree bevel, or say like I did here, get it up to not quite 45 degrees, but a little section before 45, you can use this trick that I'm about to show. So how did I do this little block here with a cutout? I can add another one down here, a little cutout in the platform here for this jump pad. I've already done it for the back wall and this floor here. And the way you do that is a combination of inserting rows for walls. I use the column one for the floor, or no, other way around, columns for walls, and when I did this floor I used row. So you can see I inserted extra vertexes is what that does. If we look at here, I was just testing it, but you can see when it started as a normal bevel it only had 3, and now if I insert, now it has 5. And when you use the split tool here, it'll split it right down the middle on the middle green dot. And now it's 2 sections instead of 1. And that can be repeated, smaller and smaller chunks down towards the middle. And let's just go through it and try it. I'm going to use the Control-Shift Numpad Plus to do a little quicker here. Oops, that got unaligned. All right, there's one more row. I think you can add columns, not rows, but you can't split them. So you got to do that one by one. And there's no shortcut currently for this. I could add one, but we're just doing it manually. So there, I've split it into fourths. Let's do it again. New rows added to the middle. So you got a bunch and split. Split that one. Now we've got just this middle part. And that can be taken out. And then everything can be cleaned up. I'm going to use this 45 here, random scrap piece, and figure out a good line to drag the floor back to. So it's got to be on the line somewhere. Hopefully it's actually got somewhere. Oh, there's one. And it's just behind the jump pad, perfect. All right, so that's our template for where the vertexes of the floor go. So let's just grab them and move them back. And they were not originally on grid, so we're going to Control-G them. Oh, and there's extra columns here, so this is a good point to show. Delete columns also works. So delete first columns, and now it's down to 3. It's a little easier to align. I don't have to align as many. All right, Control-G to snap to grid. There we go. Now I'm on the template on 1. 2. 3. Delete template. Floor looks good and aligned. Just need to add some more. Before the end though, here's the other tip. So now you've got multiple patches here, and the other flip side of the split is actually a join patch. So it's good to redo that if you want to have fewer things to texture, and ditto if you want fewer vertexes, you can just reuse that delete column or row. Oops, wrong one. and it deleted the wrong one and left me with the middle one being off here. So that totally screwed up my patch bevel curve. So what I'd have to do is actually probably just make a little note that it's this middle part here that needs to be the purple, pink, the middle one for aligning with the patchwork. Or not. So it's trickier than that. So maybe I can eyeball it. I don't know. I might need to like rebuild the bevel and figure out where that needs to go. Or maybe it's impossible. Actually, yeah, this is impossible to do with 3 vertexes, now that I think about it. Because it's a 4th and an 8th together, it needs to have one chunk be 3 vertex and then the other chunk be another 3 for the 4th and the 8th combined. So keep things like that in mind, but that's about it.